All right. Internet was working great until it went live and then it instantly tanked. So let me stop the camera. Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 302. What is action? Action. It's conflict. It's conflict. It could be physical. It could be mental. It could be emotional. It could be a number of different things where it gets your heart pumping just a little bit. And that's all we're going for. We're not looking for a constant racing heart like Fast and Furious and Executioner and those movies that have just a constant stream of action that keeps going. And that kind of action, it's okay, but that's not for everyone. Now, they do well at the theaters, but it's in books, it's really tough to maintain that level of action. If you go into a James Patterson thriller, like an old one of the originals, like every 2 pages, there's action happening. It was a horse race from start to finish. And that's pretty good, but that's tough to maintain. And you don't need to maintain that level of action, and you don't have to have that exact style of action where somebody's shooting at you or your life is at risk every couple pages. It can get overwhelming. It could be something as simple as an engaging conversation, a challenge where the alternate speaker disagrees with the first speaker. Like in my current book, I have a local liaison for the police constabulary, and she has to recuse herself. She said, I applied for mental health days and I can't continue with this investigation. And the magistrate, my space lawyer, she said, she didn't actually answer right away. In her mind, she was thinking, we got to find this killer. But then she softened and realized that, hey, okay, this isn't for everybody. This is hard work. So the constable offered an alternative. So we had a conflict, and then we had the resolution. So it was a very short action, but this constable recusing herself and bailing on the magistrate, it raised the tension of that scene. So not all action is shooting and fighting. Think about Harry Potter when he was Hermione and Ron were trailing Draco Malfoy into Borgin Burke's. And just that simple action of them trying to not be seen while they're following them, and then they're watching through the window to see what's going on, and almost got caught in pressure, raised your heartbeat, and then it settled down after that. It's tension to make the reader keep reading. So keep in mind that all of it is to keep the reader reading. So if you kill your protagonist in the first chapter, and I read a book like this where it's the build up. Hey, this is the guy, and he's going to solve this crime, and then he's killed in a plane wreck at the end of the first chapter. I have to say I was a little bit disappointed. There's a certain amount of action that goes on there, but that seemed to be like the whole story. So I didn't read on. I'm sure we got a new protagonist at the beginning of chapter 2, but I can't guarantee that because I didn't keep reading. So action, there's a certain amount of it that makes sense. And I don't know if this guy came back to life, but it was pretty obvious that he was killed. So action, you don't want to take it to a conclusion that makes the reader stop reading. Everything you do when you're writing is to keep the reader reading. So that's a little bit of action, a little bit of tension. Okay, so the constable offers an alternative. Hey, I've asked this other constable to fill in for me. Oh, okay. So once again, that's an open loop. What are we going to see from this new constable when she joins the team? Tension to keep the reader reading. So what is action? It could be a chase. An overall arc of my newest space lawyer book is a chase. They're trying to find Jack the Ripper. A time element. And I've also included that in this storyline is he kills at 1 week interval between the first and second kill, and then 3 weeks to the third kill. So, and then that's it. And he disappears from that planet. So they have a very tight timeline within which to work. Differing opinions. Hey, how do we go about finding? And as people offer those opinions, it adds action, it adds tension. Those are side plots and who's right, and it keeps the plot moving forward. The buildup. as they corner this individual, what's that going to look like? So, and then you have the engagement, the actual, is the guy going to get away? Is he going to hurt one of our protagonists and her team? The fighting part. But more importantly on action is preparing to fight. Load the main weapons and turn to broadside. So how do you engage one ship to the other? Building up to the fight is action. How are the people prepared to manage this battle? How are the people prepared to manage this conversation? My space lawyer, they go into court on occasion. So how is that action? Well, have to plan for the alternative, have to look at the various things that they're going to present and what did that do. And as a lawyer, it's like, okay, that's kind of exciting, but it adds, you can add that action. Look at all the TV shows that are courtroom drama, but they have action, like Perry Mason starting back in the 50s. The courtroom action, but drama, where they're going after an individual and he presents the silver bullet in court and twists the witness around and into a circle, and all witness admits, oh, I did see him do it. Oh, holy cow, it was me, I did it. God, nobody does that. But anyway, it makes for good courtroom dramas on TV. All right. So there we go. Action. It's anything to get the heart pumping. You can see it. You can believe it. It could be somebody as simple as conversation that ratchets up. It doesn't have to be death-defying every other page. That makes that is tough to pull off and be convincing that a single individual can defy death that often and still be standing come the end of your story. So, but moving along, everything to keep the reader reading, keep them engaged. That's action. You resolve it, but then that leads to a new action. Oh, the constable's leaving, but we're getting a new constable. How about that? All right. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Peace, fellow humans.